Keep a fire burning red in a Joshua representing if it comes hard here, you know. Big up Kidaki, Buxton Massive. Hey Babylon boy, you go on like you know, like come son. Red.
Never Joe, never Joe, never Joe. Oh, money never, money never, money never, money never, money never, money. I know what you conniving, money. Money never, money, money never, money, money. You can keep your conniving money. When you've been up for a bum, in a business be money. Now because your money done, you come with conniving money. When you had your pocket full, in a business be money. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me money. Yes, money never, money never, money, money never, money, money. Now do what you can even money. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. That's all the money that me walk for. A 2 pound note and I kill that piece. A 2 pound note and I kill that piece. A 2 pound note and I kill that piece. This is all the money that me walk for. I said money never, money never, money, money never, money, money. I don't want you can I be money. Oh, Joseph.
Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Tom's TV, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruptions over land and sea, where the wicked politician they try to trick me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting oil money. Is one set of people doing the thievery. Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. This is a program that you all can see, sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, which Jah has ordained me to sing. I sing Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, fooling the people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. They got Breakford, Bork and Mark Benchcop. David Hines and Kadaki Amsterdam. Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London. Normal Brown and Gavin Matthews. Big up Paslow, Port People Governor. Simona Brooms, Robin Simpson. Hampton Green and Winston Jordan. And yes, we can go right on and on. Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.
The relatives and friends of young Wyndham Bacchus, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of our in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of Peter Headley, they deserve justice.
And so when we say that Guyana is an apartheid state, we have the evidence to show.
Are you planning your next visit to Oil Ridge, Guyana, South America? Well, let's accommodate you at Varon's Cheerful Country Manor. With free secured on-premises parking, our beautiful vacation air-conditioned home offers 3 beds, 2 bathrooms, a spacious kitchen, and all modern amenities. Located at Tushen, on the eastern bank of the mighty Essequibo and the western coast of Demerara, Varon's cheerful country manor is just a stone throw from the ocean. Make that reservation now on Airbnb and VRBO. For contact, call us on 516-770-3053 or 592-685-3521. Make Varon's Cheerful Country Manor your home away from home.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in town, you're looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work. But everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place where you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent a hall. You can rent a hall, honey. You can rent a hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But you know, whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Dam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. But it's on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, you know, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you.
Stop running around like headless chicken. Go to Ashton's Marketplace for whole and cut chicken, beef, pork, processed meats like bacon, beef franks, smoked ham, ground pork, calabresa, and lots more. Ashton's offers wholesale and retail. Check them out. Call 613-2332 or WhatsApp 434-327-3955. Ashton's Marketplace at 72 Rob Street, Border.
Comes audio son. You burn the swine when I want you shine. The tree of life, them I want you climb, cause them heart no kind. Comes I say them heart no kind. Buxton Massive. Kidaki. Read that.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T and W Harris Butcher Shop located in the East Rheinveld Market Meat section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T and W Harris Butcher Shop for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more.
Morning, neighbor, morning. This thing that talk to me, this video look like a stick. All your morning. Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. How have you been? How was you yesterday? How is you today?
Or you tomorrow looking? How was your last night? Did you rest well? What happened yesterday that gave you hope that you want to live to see today? Or you wanted to live to see today? What happened? Y'all talk to me. What's going on? I tell you the truth. Things ain't looking good in this country. It's November month already. Is it 12th of November? But I ain't even hear a Christmas carol yet. Everybody's playing Christmas carol. I ain't see nobody dressing up their business place and say, yeah, what's going on? Is our culture changing? Or things tight? I want better than things being tight. I think things are tight. When you see, regardless of how stick a pin. Yeah, wait till I just want to misstep during them. Rahman Mohammed, how your mother tell you such a thing about your stepfather? Why she was so rude? Or she told you to be rude to your stepfather? You know when your daddy been abandoned at you and go ahead the woman where you pick up a rum shop. And me used to provide for you daily. Yeah? Is that why you call me a jackass? Because I forget that you and me pick me. I and me pick me. But me recognize that I hungry daily. And I am mama be want little assistance. So me give she little assistance and me help her out and thing. And of course me help myself. So now puppy turn dog, you can come call me jackass. Look around you, sir. Look around you, son. And recognize the ass shit or horse shit that you're dwelling in. See, that is why I like being honest, because I can't take honesty. I come here and I presented a simple historical fact. And I'm told that I spreading racism. Is this this clown? Yeah, I spreading racism in Ghana. The people who spreading racism in Ghana is sitting down at Wall Street for the greater part. It's them taking away black people land. It's them oppressing black people and people that don't look like them. It's them ensuring at all costs that they keep public servants' wages and salaries so low that they can't even use their income from their daily jobs to live them out of poverty. Right, Rahman? I ain't gonna block you yet. I want you to go and have a discussion with your mother and then come back and apologize. Or at least be quiet and learn something. Unless you don't want to accept history. Unless you don't want to accept history. When I speak And I say that my education has taught me that come hell or high water, there has been and there will always be distrust among people of certain ethnic groups. As a matter of fact, quite frankly, if you ask me, there will always be distrust among people of all ethnic groups. African Guyanese are very trusting. Very trusting. But that doesn't mean that they're not cautious or distrusting in many instances. Indo-Guyanese are very pretensive. They pretend to trust. Because there's this principle that says, lick us before you kick us. In other words, humble yourself and go with the flow. Roll in the grass. Play the game until you are in a position to do better. And so they're deceitful. Bigger and better, you'll get better. History has shown me that. History has taught me that. Living history has taught me that. And so if, for me, speaking that truth or that truism, you see me as a racist or promoting racism in Guyana, so be it. Let me tell you about racism in Guyana. At your luncheon, they say, God raise the dead. Speak no ill of the dead, them say. All of them say. That was one of the brightest sun in the PPP. At no point in his life did they see it fit to make him leader of that party. The PPP was not only founded by Chedi Jagan, he had a lot of African Guyanese alongside him. Check the history and see how they have been elevated or relegated in that party. You want to talk about racism? Go to Borbies. Hoxie, Lancaster, neighborhood to Wim, basically. Manchester, Lancaster, Liverpool, and those predominantly Afro-Guyanese communities. Go see that up to now, you know, in 2024, let me say about a year before elections, they're walking on mud dams. The Neighborhood Democratic Council building is a death trap. But hop across the Wim, and you're going to find every street concreted and has concrete drains. And when your government that is not promoting racism and discrimination decided that it wanted a Hope-like canal in the area, despite the geographic evidence saying the best place to put it is at John's or Wim, they went to Liverpool to put it because it is going to pass smack dab down the middle, right through that predominantly Afro-Guyanese communities. It is going to bring into disuse
or discontinued use 700 to 800 acres of land owned by Afro-Guyanese. What amount of financial compensation could return or maintain the benefit of owning 700 to 800 acres of land, productive land? Can you be compensated for that? And even if you could be compensated for that, shouldn't the PPP, being such a caring government, compensate its own people for theirs instead of compensating black people? Because black people want it. Black people recognize for once the value of the lands that they got and how it is going to empower them now and their future generations. But the PPP is not promoting racism. It just want to destroy black people economic well-being and the future of the next generations. So Rahman, I don't know what you call it. You could call it what you like. But history is my teacher. And history on my side, I dare any of y'all, quite frankly. I know y'all like me to quote, y'all like lock me up and stuff. If the ARC disagrees with me, when I say that history has taught me that the indigenous people, whether you want to call them Latino, you want to call them Amerindio, you want to call them what, has been recorded as being headhunters of my ancestors. And unto this day, do not trust us. Y'all do y'all thing. Y'all do y'all thing. Put me before the courts to answer that. I didn't write the history. I didn't write the history. I ain't really writing history. I live in history. Ask the policemen who from time to time have had to serve in Amerindian communities. What the relationship with them and the inhabitants, residents, occupants of those communities have been like over the years compared to Indo-Guyanese policemen who serve in those communities. And promoting and hear with my own ears Indian women saying that they are against the co-op issuing lands at Haslington North to African Guyanese because they know one black man go there for bugger up them pick me. I promoting racism. Is not so, Rahman? I promoting racism. I can sit here and go on for the rest of the hour or so that is left on this program, proving to you, ungrateful bastard, why you the jackass and you promoting racism as against me, simply teaching based on history. I promoting racism. That is why those two black women, the chancellor and the chief justice, acting can be made substantial or substantive in those positions which they've been serving for since Noah was a boy. How racist I am. How racist I am. To engineer all of the supersession in the Guyana Defense Force and especially the Guyana Police Force to ensure that the most qualified African Guyanese men and women don't lead those agencies, those state agencies. Which they have been serving all of their adult life. They've been good to work their way up from private to whatever ranks they've achieved, from cadet to whatever ranks they've been achieved, but they're not good enough to lead. Because the PPP, the Chachis are in power. I promoting racism. Me, Kiraki Amsterdam. Because Buxton Market is a flat tarmac that has never been even handed over by the PPP government that constructed it to the NDC. So they can't properly manage it. They have no supervisory authority over it. And the proper market space and building that is there collapsing because the government has refused to, since Noah was a boy, respond to the request for financing to fix it and make it habitable so that the market can be in its proper place. I promoting racism because Black people, Buxton people, don't deserve a covered marketplace. Compared to Monreport market that has been built and rebuilt so many times, broken, brand new building, broken and restructured because in the Guyanese say they don't like how it was constructed. What's the right? Have you heard the announcement? Have you heard any announcement? That says the Lusignan market tarmac is currently being covered. They didn't announce it because they don't want to promote racism like Iraqi Amsterdam. But it's happening. It's happening. Go see for yourself. Go see all the H iron that are there and go see how where they done dig out you know, to place them and so. Go see for yourself. And tell me really and truly, who promoting racism, Rama? Yeah, I just come up in the mornings to push my button. But guess what? I just choose when the button could be pushed and in what direction I want to go when it pushed. And this morning I want to dress y'all. Because I promoting racism. I promoting racism when I'm plastering the photographs of the little black boys all over the media and so on and say black man a thief, black man are like work. But I'm not promoting racism when an Indo-Guyanese hired to transport $10 million, thief it, and blame 3 men in one car for taking it from me. What kind of man you think they're gonna look for? What kind of man you think they're gonna look for? Black man because what? Kuli doesn't thief. When them are some of the biggest white collar criminals in this country. They're not thief. So I like promote racism. Allow me, let me promote it. But my racism is grounded in history. And I dare you to challenge a Rahman. Ignorance is a lack of knowledge. Don't call me ignorant. I ain't ignorant. I lack knowledge. I mean, there are some departments in which I might lack knowledge, yeah. But not in the general sense. Not in the general sense. I can be arrogant. As I'm being this morning, I can be damn arrogant. Because I Michelle Obama, when you go low, I could go lower. I watch it y'all over the week, you know. It's several, for quite a while, y'all pushing your luck. But I've been giving y'all a slide, you know. And I bother with that, man. I get time with that. It is racist. Very racist. When your government has an land allocation policies that says when Afro-Guyanese are to be awarded lands, we must take them far away from the original communities. Take them far away. Dump them in some back. Someplace behind God back. Where they will struggle economically and socially for survival. But when we have to allocate lands to Indo-Guyanese who apply, we must look for allotments closer to where they are from originally. So the support, the familial support that the black man get because he auntie and his mama and his uncle and his body and his niece and nieces, all of them live in close proximity of each other, so they could overlook each other's property, they could overlook each other's children, and so they could save some money, not having to pay for daycare services, etc. It's whittled away. When we take them, we throw them behind God's back. They're far from the support system. So it's like starting all over again. They ain't got shared resources no more. So they have to really struggle after the starvation wages that they're getting. but keep them Indo Guyanese close to their original place of birth and where their family there and so on, close to the family structure, so that they can continue to enjoy the support system. That will make upward mobility easier for them. Are you racist? Because I dare to call a spade a spade. I'm really racist. Because I represent a government named the PPP that knows the importance of people's property as a source of capital and financing for their upward mobility, not only for their now generation, but in next generations. But I'm on a campaign like freaking Christopher Columbus. I support in a government, a PPP government like Christopher Columbus. Discovering what people already own and taking it away. And when you look, for the greater part, it's one set of people suffering like that. Just as all the Americans suffer at the hand of Christopher Columbus or Columbusos, black people suffering at the hands of the PPP. That they suddenly discovering lands that have been owned by black people since Noah was a boy, and suddenly they're taking it. Let me tell you something. Want me to talk about racism? Racism is the government, named the PPP, using its operatives at places like lands and surveys and deeds registry to disappear. To disappear. Proof of ownership of lands belonging to black people. People got in their hand their land documents, where you call it transport or title or whatever, based on when it was issued, proving that these are their proprietary lands handed down to them since Noah was a boy from their ancestors. And when the PPP turn up to take it away, and they go to the deeds registry and the land registry and lands and survey and wherever, for copies of the original, what they find in many instances, empty folders. Empty folders. And then the royal runaround starts. And if you ain't got resources to fight your battle to the end, next thing you know, your property is in the hands of somebody that ain't look like you. There's no racism. There's no racism. There's marginalization. That is economic genocide. But all of it is fueled by the racist tendencies and policies of people looking like you, Rahman, in government. So y'all give me a royal break. Racism? Look around you and determine who really are the racists in this society. Why is it racist me recognize that a black couple, husband and wife, can't apply for and get individual pieces of land for themselves through the Ministry of Housing? But I dare say, but every time they carry John, the side chick, the side fowl, and all their friends, family, and favorites can apply and get a piece of land in their own names once they're in black like me. But they look like Rahman. Let's pay some bills and then I'll come back.
Are you planning your next visit to Oil Ridge, Guyana, South America? Well, let's accommodate you at Varon's Cheerful Country Manor. With free secured on-premises parking, our beautiful vacation air-conditioned home offers 3 beds, 2 bathrooms, a spacious kitchen, and all modern amenities. Located at Tushen, on the eastern bank of the mighty Essequibo and the western coast of Demerara, Varon's cheerful country manor is just a stone throw from the ocean. Make that reservation now on Airbnb and VRBO. For contact, call us on 516-770-3053 or 592-685-3521. Make Varon's Cheerful Country Manor your home away from home.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in Tongue, you're looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work. But everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place where you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent the hall. You can rent the hall, honey. You can rent the hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But you know, whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Dam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. But it's on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, you know, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. This is, Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you.
Stop running around like headless chicken. Go to Ashton's Marketplace for whole and cut chicken, beef, pork, processed meats like bacon, beef franks, smoked ham, ground pork, calabresa, and lots more. Ashton's offers wholesale and retail. Check them out. Call 613-2332 or WhatsApp 434-327-3955. Ashton's Marketplace at 72 Rob Street, Border.
Comes out your son. You burn the swine when I want you shine. The tree of life, them I want you climb, cause them art not kind. Comes, I say them art not kind. Buxton Massive, Kidaki, Redder.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T and W Harris Butcher Shop located in the East Rheinveld Market meat section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T and W Harris Butcher Shop for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more.
Welcome back. Roses is here. To tell you all, one, not racist. That it is I, the racist. I'm a counselor of the NONDC who refuse to pass the plans for them black man who are allocated lands at Haslington, or in Monart as we call it. Even after all the efforts of Anil and his henchmen and women at the Quads Department and Housing and all over failed in a bid to take away the people land from the co-op. I was a racist who said me passing no plan. I was a racist who was giving the people the royal run around until Camps TV turned up and suddenly the plans could be passed. Yeah. Raman, thank you for reminding me what a racist I am. Well, let me tell you what I was in. What's happening over at housing? Every time they carry John and Jane has been complaining for the longest while of paying their hard-earned cash for lands and or buildings, and housing has not been delivering. Why? What has been happening? What the minister name, Mr. Madam Minister, Madam Sir Minister, Susan Rodriguez, is that her name? Minister Rodriguez or whatever. What is happening over at housing? Why are people not getting what they have been paying for? This is an artist rendition. Show you how it would look like. Rendering of a young professional elevated home. You see that? $34 million. How does a public servant acquire one like this? I'd like to find out, Madam Mr. Minister. How does a public servant acquire one of this? Assuming that you got 30 years to pay for it, it's approximately $1 million a year you pay in the bank. How does a young professional pay for that? $1 million a year. I do the maths now. 12 is 96. But $80,000 a month. But are you working for $100,000 a month? Oh, yeah. Those of us who are working for $100,000 a month are not considered professionals. What are we? because we are the lower end of the salary bracket. That soldier man, that soldier, the military rank that is earning $100,000 a month, is not professional. He's a jackabout. The police constable that is earning $100,000, this is a jackabout too. So they can't own homes like those. Can they? Or they got to be in charge of the quartermaster's store. Or the guy in the police force. Y'all talk to me. What will it take for a young professional in the public service to acquire one of that? Because as far as I know, you can get a maximum of 30 years to pay a mortgage. I don't know many people who get that maximum. Right? But the question remains, even if I were to get 30 years to pay for this mortgage to this property, and you know what's funny? You know what just dawned on me? If the bank lends you $34 million, it's not interest free, is it? It's not interest free. How much interest am I going to be paying on $34 million to acquire this home? So then the installments to the bank can be $80,000 a month. That might only cover the capital. We're going to have the interest. So even if it's a 10% interest, y'all don't chastise me for doing these very simplistic calculations. Let's say it's $8,000 on every month's installment. Let's say $88,000. How are you eating? Yeah, I want my face get more long. How are you eating? What's happening over at housing? That's all I'm asking. Because here, people are saying that they've spent hard-earned money. Some they borrow, some they beg, some they must even thief, right? To pay housing, for example, $250,000 for a low-income house lot. But they pay more than a year now and they can't get it. And so why beg, borrow, and thief to pay so that they can be allocated and be given the house lot? But I hope that very quickly after that, or sometime soon after that, they'll be able to get their lot identified and occupied, even if it's in a couple of zincos. So that the burden of paying these exorbitant rents now will be off of their backs, and they will try to cut and contrive with the little that they're running in the public service. Even that has not become a reality for them. Has not become a reality for them. They're still living in rent houses. They're still struggling to repay that money they borrowed to pay for that land. And they still have no clue where the land is located, what it looks like, and when they will get to occupy it. As a matter of fact, there are also those who have not only paid, but because they're a little better off than others, let me call it that, or no, they waited so long. They waited so long, 10, 15 years and so on and so forth, to get their allocations. and had it identified and so on and so forth. And so now they can occupy, they can start construction. But guess what? There's no infrastructure. There's no light. There's no water. And so they are constructing like cavemen. They are out there to tame the wild west. What really is happening over at Ministry of Housing? What is the Ministry of Housing doing with all of these monies that they are collecting from people long before the people can occupy their land? Y'all talk to me, I don't know. Madam, I mean, Mr. Minister Confusion. I guess it's the same kind of confusion taking place over there at housing. I don't have the answers, but people are asking. Mr. Amsterdam, why up to now we can't get reallocation? We don't pay for it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. We're still waiting. Is there a scarcity, a shortage of surveyors? Or is there no real political will to give people access to housing lands, especially in certain regions of this country? I hope you'll get a response, a timely response. They don't respond to me, you know. At least not on this program. We see press releases and we see press statements addressing some of the issues that we address here. That too is welcome. So I hope the ministry will soon enough issue a statement through whichever medium it chooses, so that these loving citizens, caring citizens, frustrated citizens of ours can understand what's happening over at housing. I wrote the pronouncements. And in case you wonder, I can't tell you what's happening over at Ministry of Social Services either. I was told that they started distributing old age pension books in Region 3, but apparently that's the only region that is so far distributing pension books in. All the others are on hold apparently because of this great magnanimous security breach where the white-collar criminals have duplicate books or fraudulent books and stamps and everything else to rob the taxpayers of their money, which should be going to the old people then. But as an aside, just to put wool over your eyes, don't discuss the magnitude of the fraud which allegedly is taking place at our dear religious sister Vindi Prasad's ministry. I think she's head of the Dharmic Sabha, am I right? You're a religious woman. Somebody accused me of being racist this morning. Guess y'all only are passed by she forget to riff for what racism is. At least so they allege at the ministry where she's in charge. But that's an aside. How dare people to say that that ministry that is headed by this good religious woman is buried in so much filth and fraudulent behavior, white-collar crime. So much so that pensioners, all these pensioners can't see the light of day for the money and their benefits as they ought to enjoy them. But the Barlet tyrant, Bundari, doesn't want us to talk about that, so they're throwing on aside. Next year, we're going to be giving old age pensioners $41,000 a month, $5,000 more than they're currently getting. Y'all discuss that. Don't talk about the fraud. The fraud is too embarrassing. And don't call for Vindya Prasad's resignation because she's incompetent. Nastiness happening under her watch at the ministry. Cast your eyes over the Guyana Police Force because we reported to them a long time ago that this was happening and we asked them to investigate. That's not business. That's being self-serving. The lines are open. 6225933 is the number to call. 6225933 is the number to call. Rahman, you could tell him to give me a call back. Long I hear from she. She and all I'm grateful. Ni makaram you call her yo. Call your life.
Yes, good morning to you and good morning to all my black brothers and sisters in Guyana. Happy Tuesday. Very good topic. We need to put out of this close to election. That is part of politics and politics. My grandmother teach me well. He said, this is what you have to go out and look out for, because this is what cold people love. Land, power, money, and they love to kill black man. I do hope Mr. David Hines going to call in this morning and left that card. No, again, it is not Sherry Jagan say Apanjat, and it's not Sherry Jagan use a sword. Own the land, and you go own the country. And Flash Garden love to explain things too, and read fine print. What you have to do for own the land, do it. If you have to kill black man, punish them, push them off the land, run them and put them behind God's back, do it. Because Guyana belongs to East Indian people, Cody people. I do Mr. David Hines listening. I can call him and say, no, Flash Garden again. It is not Jagan. But if it's not, he is guilty of it. Because, as you said, he must said, upon that, for the next man in. But he is guilty because if Flash Garden know how to break and enter a bank, and Flash Garden, the man said, come, ABC, go, and do this, and break that, and bring the money to me. I am guilty as a man who break and enter that bank. Move on. We have to understand one thing in history. Nothing comes to black people easy. We have to fight for it. And black man don't want to fight for nothing. Black people don't even want to represent the Constitution. They call it 2020 was representing the Constitution. But black man, they want to represent it. I actually question. And he was fair enough to say Flash. I don't know. But no one in calling and say, hey, Flash, let us stay still have 2 more years or 3 more years before the opposition send any list which you could remove all and put who the opposition. Nobody in calling. But I'm calling went to court for say, hey, David Granger, you got to the end of the day, you got to take somebody from my list. You cannot put nobody there. That is the problem Flash Garden getting the black people today. One young man understand me yesterday when I said, Rhonda Lane just represents the country, represents the black people, represent all Guyanese, represent the Constitution. She just left every week and got on Georgetown and call for something that will benefit for all Guyanese, especially black people, teachers, and children. And then man, what Flash Garden see behind that guy, Punkai show. I support him. But I support Landalina and Gonzalo Leo. And that guy program, he always said, Auntie and uncle, he never mentioned Afro-Guyanese or African Guyanese, my African brothers, African auntie and uncle. He always said auntie and uncle. But my daddy see no auntie and uncle with him protesting. This is our biggest problem. And we got to come together as one with love, unity, and support. We want change. If we want them only to stop the black man land, we got to do the necessary to stop it. It is not racial. It's one man.
I guess we lost Flash. Let's play a voice note.
Any of this noise. Karaki, with respect to WPA press conference yesterday, Dr. Hine is very professional in his conference. He touched on all the issues that need to be addressed. And he showed Bharat Jagdeo, Nanwal, and Ali our press conference should be held. One of the journalists asked Bharat Jagdeo on his live conference sometime last week, and his reply is answered. That's when he asked him about his banking account in China. And his reply, he knew who used to carry in wig and lipstick in prison for bank chop. A vice president of our country. And this is the kind of talk this man carrying on, and the world is looking at him. Karaki, the only person who know everything in Guyana is Bharat. Bharat know everything. He putting him out in everything. He putting him out in education. He putting him out in health. He putting him out in Ministry of National Security. He putting him out all about. But you know, sugar failing. He get dumb. He ain't putting him out there. He's not putting his mouth there. But what I want to say this morning, Dr. Hines, he didn't have no water bottle and he didn't have no cup. And he wasn't sipping from nothing. And if you're listening, the level of intelligence and constructiveness, but he have a bottle and a cup. And all he talking is a set of crap. When he take a sip from the cup, you're seeing like it going wild. I will watch him out there for now. You have a good day, Kakaraki.
Thank you for that voice note.
Morning, Brother Kidaki. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, all right-thinking Guyanese. Real Guyanese, real Guyanese, real Guyanese. I'm speaking to. This guy was in charge.
Call it on.
Greetings for a good day, my brother, to all blessed and wonderful Guyanese. I want to bring your attention. I mean, it's our business because it's real money spending, Guyanese money spending. You imagine if I started this man or after 5, the president get a meeting with ministers, engineers, permanent secretary and contract and talking about who delaying work, who taking line with work, who doing bad work, that kind of thing. And when you listen to the press conference, he talking again with him, picking kind like he know what to say. Talking about it. But I'm saying this to you, is just a political gimmicks. That's what I'm saying. Because I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he told me that I actually the president know. Who said the president done? They must do everything going on because at the end of the day, it's like simple. You critics a job to do, and critics is no contractor. Anybody critic, anybody charge critics? When I did to read things we doing with the river or whatever it is. And what happened? Look at Brutus' issue. Much months ago, Mr. Pastor, the man talking about what Buddha's issue. He heard Pastor and Mr. Conway's haters. The next thing, Buddha going to happen. What happened every day? And finally, I want to say, Mr. Kadaki, these people come back in to the 20 with a vengeance, with a purpose. To enrich, as you always say, Dr. say, to enrich themselves. Not by millions, by billions. Because even the come out of poverty still have fund, political power. Well, let me tell you why. All the issues you could think about being controlled by this system. I have a problem with it. Look at Parliament, Mr. Kodaki. From the first day they were in Parliament, what they did? They give a man one seat, Deputy Speaker. Where did the chaos start from? And what bothers me is that all these liars and these brilliant minds, the people in this country, sat down, Mr. Kodaki, and put the tape between the foot and accept it. I mean, nobody going to challenge that. I target it over and over and over. How could you give a person one seat as Deputy Speaker? And watch now. The woman with the neck is which she coming out? You can talk what they like. And not a boy saying nothing. Again, Mr. Kodaki, the system set, divide and rule. And Guyanese right now is spiritually and mentally being controlled by the system. They're fighting for talk. Because when I do with them power, since I do step, slip. If you hear you're going on with them, today I can't think going on, but you say, why we can do by it? Why we can do by it? People not tell you, but when I do with them power, who wasn't ass, who wasn't jackass, who wasn't this, like all people are anything. Now the same people being saying who's fool and that kind of thing, they're in a corner with a tail between the foot. Oh, Mr. Daki, thanks so much for listening. Have a blessed day, brother.
Thank you for your call. You know, let me tell you something. When banners can't sleep because things bothering them, because they have fine things to do. I like me if I can't sleep because things bothering me. Just get up and watch the television or something. So if all these things bothering you and you can't sleep, you could call the engineers them at 5 o'clock and so on. The engineers are going to determine if there's a working hours. None of my business. That's arrogance. That's arrogance. Who calls the piper? Who pays the piper calls the tune? That gives you the right to call your employees out of the homes at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. You know when this jackass they just get anointed president, they have show you on the face. I like when you see my arrogance. When the jackass was made president, 4 the morning before board right break, the jackass had a torch. Let's say you go and check on construction work at pump stations and all kind of thing. That's the kind of jackassery that you get for government. You have no idea what to do at the time. So to justify all the thieving and corruption and the whittling away of the nation's resources, let us come up with these imbecilic ideas. What difference does it make bringing out your engineers at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock even in the morning, to answer silly questions that you got in your head? And against doing it during quote unquote working hours, 8 to 4 or whatever the time is. It's past people, you're disrespectful to people's families. Because those people got families. If you say chicken, you mean check the woman and you know to find them, that's it, you better learn. Don't bring people, call people away from their families because you can't find peace in your home. Call your life.
Good morning, Karaki, and good morning to everyone on this program. Oh, what a blessed day. I just want to echo something these days that is doing echoing because I think we need to do a lot of that so that people will pay attention to these previous situations. I was just want to talk today about the corruption in Guyana. Where I know there is corruption. The office of the First Lady, I mean, What is that? I'm echoing. Somebody said it already. They ain't checking it out. The office of the first lady, money is allocated more than, oh my Jesus. And we have the pensioners there, you know, suffering. We come into that. We have the teachers. They don't want to give them money. We got a power shift. There's another corrupt situation there. This power shift where they bring out away from, I don't know, we must say Jordan or somewhere that side so far, or where they call this idea. Somewhere they bring this power shift. Up to now, we still getting blackout. We still getting blackout. We talk about the sugar. Guys, suko. Oh my Jesus. These are bare-faced corruption. These are what they call legislative corruption. Because the government have a right to support, they make it legal that they could support the sugar industry, try to back them out and all these things. Education system. Oh Lord. All we've seen is big house going up for some people. And school where they starting and can't finish. Millions of dollars they vote for them for the contract. And school can't done. Corruption is there again. Health system. This expired drugs thing so much. $1 billion expired drugs. That thing stink bad. Somebody got to look at these things. That things stink. And they got the nurses and they don't want to pay them adequately for their services. The police. Oh my God. Don't let me talk with them because the police, all they're doing now is policing the people who exposing the thievery of the government and themselves. That's all they do.
Because I'm remaining true to myself.
As long as you want to go and show the world or talk that the thieving going on in the country, the police are going to come at you. Yeah. And corruption? Oh, Jesus. Quartermaster store and all these places. Infrastructure. Ooh. Hey.
Morning, neighbor. Morning, are you morning? Morning. Let's get ready to rumble. Good morning. Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. It is now 29 minutes to the 8 o'clock hour on the 13th day of November in the year 2024. How are you? How was your last night? How are you doing this morning? How are you doing this morning? How you sleep last night? How you produced yesterday? How was your yesterday? Y'all talk to me. What gives you hope today for a better Guyana? Good. Song this confirmed. What gives you hope that Guyana could be a better place? What makes you think that the PPP government could become a better government? Y'all talk to me. I want to know these things because I like to get into your heads. Should I open up the line for some of you to tell me, answer some of these questions? What gives you hope? What were you able to achieve yesterday from those smart goals that you set? Are you confident that this PPP government is going to do good by you? Those of you who look forward to your year-end bonus in the giant services, yeah, sure, you are getting up. Why should the giant services get year-end bonus and nobody else? Or are we going to pull a trick-card trick? We're going to pay the money on the $1,000 promised cash grant At the same time, we're going to give the giant services the extra tap up and so. Talk to me. WPA recently held a press conference and they talked about the inappropriateness of the government wanting to use the voters list as the source document for distribution of the cash grant. Inappropriate. The reality is, as we know, the voters list is bloated. Very much so. Well, very well bloated. And so if you're going to use a bloated list to distribute cash grant, it means that the amount of money that you're expecting to distribute will be inflated because your source data is inflated. That sounds like robbery for me. That sounds like more people are going to end up with millions of dollars in their home through corrupt practices, like is alleged to happen to some people from the Ministry of Social Services. And then I saw a suggestion from someone who said, why do they have to use the voters list? Why should they? Or why do they have to reinvent the wheel? A lot of our citizens can be found, well, adults, 18 years and older, they say. A lot of them can be found employed in the public service. Can we use the public service payroll data as a source document? And then another set is employed in the private sector. Can we use the private sector payroll with the necessary verifications as source data? And then who can be captured by the use of payrolls as source data? Then we ask them to, I would say, get registered. Provide information for information that will help us to process their cash handout. But then there's another thought that just came to mind. You see, I'm a thinking human being. I'm not a pig, swine, like many of those over in government. It just came to mind. Did we just do a census? Yeah, we just did a census. Well, just is relative here. But we recently did a census, and that census is supposed to provide us with enough information to tell us who the 18-year-olds are, 18 and older are. I can't remember exactly if you provided names when the census was being done. I can't remember these things. But I know for a fact the census was done. And that census is supposed to give us that kind of data to say how many adults we have in this society. And so we work from there. But no, everything is politicized. So everything we have to go to the voters list. Let me explain this to you. What's wrong with this country? What is wrong with this country? How come the Elections Commission, GCOM, know the name, Ghana Elections Commission? I want you all to pay attention to me this morning. How come Ghana Elections Commission is being turned to for data to deliver cash grants or cash transfers or whatever you want to call them. How come? Well, as the name suggests, GCOM is supposed to be responsible for the preparation for and conduct of elections. That's how the name says, Ghana Elections Commission. That's what they should be involved in. But we're going to GCOM for the information. Instead of going to this place, y'all listen to me, GRO, the General Registrar's Office. Do you know where the General Registrar's Office is? Do you know what the role of the General Registrar is? Or the General Registrar's Office? GRO is where you go to for your birth certificate, where you apply to get your birth certificate. GRO is where you apply to get your death certificate. GRO is where you apply to get your marriage certificate. GRO is where you apply to do name changes. Adoption. In short, GRO, the General Registrar's Office, is responsible for the record of new births, marriages, and deaths of citizens in a country. Where else do you expect to get up-to-date, accurate? Note, I'm living in La La Land here because I know that crap doesn't obtain in Ghana. The data systems in this country are not up to date. If you go to NIS now to check your NIS contributions, they might be a year behind. Data systems are not up to date. But let's just, for the sake of education, say GRO has its data systems up to date. It is the place where you're supposed to get the most accurate information on citizenship and population of this country. I don't know. In the cases that went before the courts in relation to the last elections and so on, we started hearing about the NRR. Have you ever heard that term, NRR? National Register of Registrants. And I'm arguing this to you. I've said it several times before and I'm saying it again. I do not have any problem with the court's ruling that names cannot be taken off of the National Register of Registrants. Because what should happen if you maintain a National Register of Registrants is status should change. Tom Jones was born on the 1st of January 1968. That's a new birth, so you have a new citizen. Tom Jones, January 1st, 1968, he has a citizenship number, whatever it is. Isn't it true that the Americans assign social security number to children as soon as they're born? And that takes them through death, so you can track them all through the system. At least that's what I think. I know. So here it is. Tom Jones is born 1st of January 1968. That's a new birth. Tom Jones goes under the new birth column. New citizen in the making, Tom Jones. One more citizen is added to our population. Tom Jones is given a social security number. Tom Jones becomes 18, which is the next milestone according to our country's law. Tom Jones is now 18. He is an adult. So Tom Jones gets thrown out of the newborn or children, whatever the assignment there is, to now adult category. So Tom Jones is no longer under 18. He's now thrown over into the 18 and older category. It's the same citizen. It doesn't change the number of citizens we have. But it changes the number of under 18 we have and the number of adults we have. And for those of you who are into data and data management and stuff like that, you will know that column A, as I'm indicating here, plus column B will give you your national population. Right? That is under 18 plus 18 and older will give you a national population. But we're going to change, we're going to add column C now. And that says deceased. And so when John Jones, or whatever I call him just now, dies, then that status changes. And he goes under deceased. One less citizen for you. But when you add column A and column B, you will still get citizens who are alive, under 18 plus 18 and older. And that will still give you your living population. And so if you're looking for 18 and older to pay the cash grant to, you just go and you extract, you do a search. There's what you call criteria for searching. You do a search, you put in your necessary criteria. And it will bring up all of the entries, let's call them that, files, let's call them that, that suits the investigation. How many people we have alive, 18 and older, and who they are. That information is supposed to be gotten from the National Register of Registrants. Not the elections, not the electoral list. Not the electoral list. Why? Let me tell you why. One, you have persons who will have become 18 years and older that have not registered for an ID card. And so GCOM has not been able to capture their data. You have people who are 18 years and older who have died. But GCOM doesn't track births and deaths. And so that person is still on the voters list. And that is why we have a bloated voters list. But when somebody dies, what happens? Let me tell you what happens when somebody dies. Or, well, when somebody is born to start with. A record of the birth is made at the place of birth, usually at the public hospital. There's an office there. It might be a sub-office of the GRO, but that child's birth is registered. And that information is transmitted in what way, shape, or form to GPOs, we like to say, the GRO of itself. And I would say a file is open for that individual. That individual can now apply for a birth certificate. And since the birth was registered at the place of birth, then that birth certificate will be issued according to the information presented at the time of registering the birth. So GRO can track you from the time you're born. They got your information. When you die, what is supposed to happen? What happens? Again, the death is supposed to be registered. If you die at the hospital, then you go downstairs, you go to the same office, I think, where births are registered, and you register the death of the individual. They give you a long form. I still got my mother's long form. Right there. They give you what they call a long form. That indicates the time of death, the place of death, the cause of death, Does it have a cause of death on it? Yeah, I think so. Good. So you have all of that information. So the GRO has information when you were born. It has information when you died. But between birth and death, some people are fortunate they get married. They give up the freedom they tie, not with a tongue that they can't lose with their teeth. And so again, when you get married at the church, there's something called banns that are published, etc., etc. The priest prepares a document indicating that you were married at this church, the date you were married, and all of the other information, and you now go to the GRO to get registered as a married person, so you get a marriage certificate. The National Register of Registrants is supposed to continue to track your change of status. So when you are issued a marriage certificate, it shows that Tom Jones is now married to Patsy Lal, and so GRO is supposed to reflect that information in the data system. So sitting at GRO, they can very well sit and tell us how many married couples they have in this country. They can't tell you how many happily married couples there are, but they can tell you how many married couples there are. Especially if you didn't just marry under bamboo like a certain loquacious politician and refuse to register. Right? The marriage, you refuse to register the marriage. That's Vashni. She can tell you so. Good. So GRO tracks birth, marriage, death, and general change of a citizen's status in terms of sometimes I was born to them Amsterdam, and Amsterdam got some nefarious allegations against them. There's some of the anyhow. Let me stop being malicious. And I decided I want to change my name. Like some people allege Bishop did, he changed his name. You go to, when you go, you get a lawyer, do a deed poll to change your name and so on. And you have to register that change of name with the GRO so they know that Moraman King Kidin King Kling is now masquerading in the society as a decent citizen, man of the cloth. New name. But they can track that change. Are our systems working in this country? I would hope they are. Because if they are, then as easy as I'm describing it, it is as easy as that. And so through the NRR, we can tell you how many births we had over a period of time. Registered births, let me call them that. How many deaths we had over a period of time, registered deaths. How many marriages we had over a period of time, registered marriages. And through quote-unquote extrapolation, doing the necessary queries in the data system, we can tell you that our citizenship number is so many. 750,000 is what I've been hearing since I was a boy. We ain't going past 750,000 people in this country. As a matter of fact, the population has declined. Tell them I say that because the census says that. We can talk about that another day when they release the information. So let's talk. So just examining, just doing the necessary queries at through the NRR, assuming that the proper data systems are established and functioning, we can say, well, our population is X number. And of this X number, 90% of them are youths or under 18, or 90% of them are 18 and older. And so this 90% is equivalent to so many hundred thousands of people, which we have to pay the one-off cash grant to. We don't have to go to the voters list for that information. We don't have to. The NRR, we're supposed to get that information through the GRO. Let me tell you another status which I think the NRR should capture or may capture is the immigration status of citizens. Tom Jones is born, Tom Jones is married, Tom Jones is Tom Jones is born, Tom Jones become an adult, Tom Jones is married. Tom Jones gets a visa and leaves this country. If the data systems are working as they ought to, then Tom Jones's departure should be reflected. It definitely should be reflected in the Immigration Department records, and that information, I would think, naturally should be transmitted to the GRO so that it is reflected in their database that Tom Jones has migrated. And so we have one less citizen, but not a citizen that has died, but a citizen that has migrated. And so NRR again can tell us how many Guyanese born here, migrated from here, are living in the US or any other part of the world, because that information should be reflected. It's an interconnection. And that is what data management is. It's a series of interconnecting, we call them modules, wherever you want to. And so it's not difficult. And so let me come down to the bloated voters list now. The list at GCOM is bloated because those who are responsible for the management of the NRR are failing. Why are they failing? The GRO is supposed to track, like I said, births, marriages, deaths. Now, naturally, if somebody dies, then they change category. They move from among the living to among the dead on the NRR. That information is supposed to be transmitted to GCOM to say, here, your voters list has Tom Jones as being a citizen, born 1978, 68, whenever, married 1982, died 2023. Kindly use this information to update your database. And so when that information is provided to GCOM, GCOM then has a responsibility to update the voters list to reflect the death of Tom Jones. And so once GCOM reflects the death of Tom Jones, they know that that bloated list is now reduced by one. There's one less dead person on the list. And if the GRO functions as it could, or as it should, I mean, and provides the necessary data to GCOM, then GCOM's list should be reflective of the GRO's list in terms of adults alive, or let me say 18 years and older alive. So if you want to check the integrity of the data, if I can call it that, then you can use GCOM as a secondary source. Compare GCOM's data with the GRO's data, and then you say, well, yeah, at least it is correct to -1%. You know, you usually have what they call a margin of error. So it is correct to margin of error of about 1%. that is accounted for because GCOM did not do their reconciliation. GRO did not do the reconciliation for the last 3 months, or GCOM did not do their reconciliation for the last 3 months. But I challenge you. You go and, well, they won't even give you the information. I know you are applying to the information czar, Charles Ramson Sr. How well is that man? I wonder what his health is like right now. If he's still senile and so on. I mean, if he's still, this is not the word senile. Senile is when you lose your senility. When you lose your mental capacity, right? I'm trying to remember the word, but anyhow, I wonder if he's still aware of all things. But the question is, if you were to go to GRO for information on how many adult citizens we have in this country, and they provide you with that number, I dare you to go and check and compare it to GCOM's list. One will be East and one will be West. GCOM's list is likely to be bigger than the GRO's list. Put it to the test. And I dare the government to prove otherwise. I dare the Barlet Tyrant and others to prove to us that what is reflected at GCOM is reflected at the GRO in terms of adult citizens we have. I bet you they can't. But I should say they can't. They can't legitimately. They could fudge the numbers and give us. But that's the risk of using GCOM's voters list as a source data for paying out the cash transfer. And so let me show you the skullduggery that the PPP as a government is involved in there. Number one, if you use a bloated list to pay, you're going to get, just as you get imposter voting, you're going to get imposter collecting, impostering to collect. And you know that just as how they allow people in their stronghold to vote 2 or 3 times, utilizing information for other people, it is the same way they will allow people in their strongholds to collect money 2 and 3 times, utilizing the information of others who are not legitimately on the list because they're either overseas or dead overseas. That's the first problem you'll get there. The other thing is, the payout that they make using that bloated list is going to be used to justify the accuracy of that bloated list. How is it the opposition challenging the existence of 775,000 voters and we use the same list and 775,000 voters collected their money? There's no discrepancy here. And that's the risk. That is the risk. Right? Right? That's the risk. But I hope you understand the three-card trick. Good? That is taking place. But I got 2 bits of information to share with y'all before I move on. One is that money paying out Money is paying out. There's a public announcement issued by the regional executive office in Region 9. It says, following His Excellency Dr. Whoever Mohammed Irfan Ali, President of Cooperative Republic of Ghana's announcement on October 10, 2024, that a one-time cash grant of 100,000 will be distributed to each household, later amended to all Guyanese citizens aged 18 and up. A verification exercise will be conducted in Region 9. This exercise will take place on the 16th, 17th, and 18th of November. To complete the verification process, all Region 9 residents are asked to be physically present at the designated locations with their ID cards. Please refer to the attached schedule for information on where you need to go to verify your name. It is vital to note that the list obtained by this exercise will be utilized to conduct the distribution. WPA making sense. Method of verification, Guyanese identification card. You all understand what Guyanese, them Venezuelans and Brazils who get Guyanese documents by fraud and fraudulent practices doing well. So Region 9 authority is saying, listen, we're verifying who the residents are. Who are the eligible people in Region 9? Starting from the 16th of November. Is that what the data read? I think so, the 16th of November. 16th, 17th, and 18th, yes. Good. And in order to verify, you have to come with your ID card. Now, nothing wrong about everything right. I was talking about the dangers of using GCOM's bloated list to pay. And I was saying that the NRR, if properly maintained, is where the source data should come from. I also suggested that you can use a public service payroll, private sector's payroll, and then those people who don't find themselves on those two register through a particular process to verify the eligibility. Well, that is what is happening in Region 9. A registration process is taking place. You turn up with the ID card, you put on your name or whatever other data they will collect, and so you know you're on the list to get paid. My assumption is that is going to happen throughout the country. Do you assume the same thing? I assume so. And I hope so. And when they're finished with those processes, those verification processes and in payment, I want them to say to the Guyanese people, these were the numbers of persons in these different parts of the country that were verified as alive and well in this country and came to collect their $100,000. And that number is supposed to be reflected on your voters list. Or at least that number plus or minus a few percent. Are you willing to bet that if you get those numbers, they will not correlate? And the question is, do you believe the PPP government will reveal that number? Do you believe the PPP government will use those registrations to verify or allow those registrations to verify the voters list in those areas? This is not me reinventing the wheel. This is me using the wheel to say how we can verify our voters list. At least within a certain degree, a certain margin of error. But do you believe that the PPP has that interest? No, they don't. But they did WPA awaken them by saying we are against the voters list being used because it opens the process to corruption and all of that? Yes, we have awakened them. There is proof. Did you awake them when Brother Yusuf Kwana say this thing should be legislated, this thing should go through the legislature? Yes, that is why Jagdio said the other day that the monies to pay this cash grant would come through a supplementary budget. Because if they do a supplementary budget, then it gets legal strength, legislative strength. So we winning. WPA making some sense. Some people listening, but they're not acknowledging, they're only doing. We're quite content with that. So long as we can keep government doing what is right for the citizens, we're quite contented with that. We would like to replace them so that we can do the best for citizens. Good. It's 10 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. I got some more things to tell you about, I hear, Ali, this waste. Banner, that man is robbing people of oxygen, people who deserve to really breathe. One Dennis Champagne Collins, what are you asking about really? I tell you must come clear when you want to engage me. Good. You know I like my little banter with you. I don't abuse you out. Because you don't come funny. Is that when I'm telling one and someone else come funny, this get cost. Here we talking. Oh shoot, sir. Oleg stepping. What you call Oleg? Senescence? Oh shit. Senescence just stepping. Oh, I talking about this waste, this banner. Why I want card president and all kind of thing. I'm not calling me, I got to see why. You don't call just so. You don't call willy-nilly. Go by you. Hey. You want a live? I could put on the mic. Huh? All right, good. When St. John want to get him a business, he's playing Wednesday today. Jump in there, man.
Yeah, morning, Kadaki. I was happy that you read out that what was it? Message coming from the office of the regional executive chairman, Region 9 on the cash grant. I hope it's authentic because even the message itself has a slight error.
Yeah, I recognize that. I recognize that.
Well, I don't know if the error that you recognize is the one that I recognize.
Well, they said 100,000 for everybody, every household, and then to every individual. I think that is the error I recognize.
And not only that, it is suggesting that Ali made an announcement on October the 10th about a cash grant of 100,000 to households. He did not make such an announcement. He made an announcement of 200,000 per household.
Well, that is what I said was the error. Anyhow, go ahead. Good.
Right, but anyway, so there are a couple of issues I thought can't wait till tomorrow I should bring to the fore. First of all is saying that they're now asking people to go to certain places and with your ID card and register. What is the relationship between that and the app that is supposedly being developed? Right, because we heard that the app was going to be developed, tested, and you were required to go online and register and put in your information and so on. So has that been abandoned? And now they're going now with this business where you have to turn up in person at certain places on some appointed dates to register. That's the first issue that needs to be clarified. The second one that needs to be clarified is that the announcement was that all people 18 and over as at December 31st, 2024. So if you're asking people to go there on the 16th, 17th, 18th, whatever of November in person with your ID card, have you made arrangements for those who are not 18 as yet, but who will be 18 up until December the 31st? Where will those people go? seeing that they can't go on the 16th, 17th, and 18th to register, where will those persons go? What is the arrangement that you put in place
but
for those persons?
Mr. Jordan, why can't they go on the 16th, 17th of 18 and 18? The ID card will reflect, let me finish. The ID card will reflect that they will meet the criteria when the time comes at the end of the year.
But based on the regional executive officers thing that he has put out there, I don't think that the intent is that for you who is under 18 to go there and present yourself with the ID card, right? And I don't, and even that message is not even saying ID card or passport. I think it just says ID card.
Yes, it says ID card.
Right. So what happened to the passport? That has suddenly disappeared. That is why, you know, you got so many issues there because this thing has just been sprung upon people just like that. There has been no lead up in terms of announcement. It is going to be by region, so. There's been no lead up as to what people should expect. There's no lead up as to education about the process. There's nothing, you know. I mean, even when you're distributing pension books, there's some lead up into the pension books, you know, and what you can expect and so on. There's absolutely nothing here. And then, of course, if you didn't present yourself on the 16, 17, and 18, due to whatever reason, what is the arrangement for you to subsequently present yourself? And then, of course, why have the joint opposition gone silent in relation to this issue about scrutineers? Why did they pick up on that matter? Because this process that you have here going where people are going to present themselves would have been an opportune time for scrutineers to be present. Even if they had to pay for their own scrutineers, it would be important for joint opposition to demand that they be present when this exercise is going on. So they themselves could have an opportunity to cross-check the list of GCOM with those who are coming to present themselves. I think this sleeping at the wheel has to discontinue. You know, it is an opportune time for them now to cross-check as to who potentially should be on the voters list versus who shouldn't, and also to query, for example, all this quote-unquote Venezuelans and Brazilians, whoever else, who have got ID cards, whether by choice or mistakenly, or by some other reason. So I thought some more discussion and some people need to call in on this whole issue. It just can't be a case where a message come out, you must go up to 16, 17, 18. They got a lot of issues that are still involved. All right, so just my take before tomorrow.
Yes, thank you. Pertinent points, but you know, we dealing with the people who just wake up and feel and wake up and do things. Like waking up and believing, well, hey, listen, contractors must turn up at my place of residence. At 5:30 in the morning because I want to meet them because I employ them. I employ them through the various ministries. And I want to see them at 5:30 at my house. Why? Or my ministry, wherever. Why? Because I pass them. That is how this government behaves. You jump up and you say, hey, so why y'all are come at me 5:30 in the morning? These people have wives, they have families, they have other responsibilities. And you ain't got respect for them. You ain't got respect for them. But some of them turn up, at least yesterday, because I'm understanding that the president decided that he gonna do the same thing in Bobby's today. Right? He was supposed to have a meeting at Blaymont Estate this morning. The meeting was arranged for 5 o'clock. right? The meeting was set for 5 o'clock this morning. And you see, it's a funny thing, you know. Nobody didn't turn up. Let me just say that. Nobody turned up. In fact, I lie, you know. It's the other way around. He didn't turn up. So this is what Pastor talking about. In one instance, you got a man calling people at 5:30 in the morning to meet. Because he wants updating this and updating that and updating the other. I want to say the people turn up, some people didn't turn up because out. I'm going to show you 2 videos just now. Totally disrespectful, like I'm saying. Totally disregarding people's domestic life. Because why must I leave my bed at 5 in the morning when I want to go bad with me wife? You want to listen to this dunce. 5 in the morning is not normal working hours. Don't do it to me. But here again, he planned a meeting for Bobby's. 5 in the morning. And he turned up. Disrespectful. Yesterday he was complaining about people being disrespectful for not turning up. But today, he is disrespectful to people who turned up. Because he chose not to. And it's all right now, there's a feast going on at Blue Monday. All the snacks that were prepared for the senior staff, including your presidents and entourage, they're sharing them out. At least taxpayers getting a taste of what the big shots does get when taxpayers' money spending. There's the only positive in that. The ordinary man and woman or a chosen few getting to eat some of the tax money and the quality that them big shots get. But you know what? I tell you, I'm going to show you 2 videos just now. Let me see if I find them. Yeah. I see them here. Let's see if I'm going to open the first one. Why y'all notice the attitude and the pomposity and the arrogance of this man who thinks, well, I don't even know if they think, I said his own thing. But this man who is clearly displaying dictatorial tendencies for calling people out of the house at 5 in the morning to go and sit with him and give update on this and that and the other and the other. Let the offices function. When projects are downtime, call the PS and let them give account. We are the accounting officers. But no, you want to call all the contractors away from the wife to come and give you account of what's going on. It don't happen, so. That's not governance. That's dictatorship. That's micromanaging. If your accounting officers cannot account for the stewardship, then you hire them over the coals and make them examples. You damn disrespectful. Again, I'm saying it. But I'm a contractor because I want to be there. But yeah, listen to the arrogance.
In all the regions and everything, don't make me where is the PS?
I'll take a pin. Don't make me Was he going to say, don't make me fire you? I will suspect that. Is another Donald Trump, you're fired? Yeah, listen up.
Where is the PS? At the gate. He's at the gate because he came after 5:30. That's why he's at the gate. Because he came after 5:30.
According to the PS's contract of employment list of duties and so on, what time is he required to be at work? Anybody has that question? What time is he required to be at work? 5:30 is still early. The PS must either not make any for storm, Ali. What you call out the bed so early for? Yeah, it's past people.
Who's the other
You're depriving the wife of early morning, wake up, roll up, hug up. Give her the term morning work.
technical staff in this ministry?
Contractors deal with in the morning. Are you?
You're the head.
What is wrong with you? You are disrespectful and
She's lying.
ignorant. I'm gonna tell you again. You're acting
Okay.
ignorant.
I'm not even gonna say nothing.
You're acting ignorant.
In all the regions and everything. Don't make me fight. Where is the PS? Where is the PS?
Well,
At the gate. He's at the gate because he came.
it's not calling time gone by. You ain't got discipline, you know. Come listen. Don't make me fire some of you for indiscipline.
Miss Green has been like an auntie to me. She's my mom's best friend back in 2007.
He came after 5:30. That's why he's at the gate. Because he came after 5:30. Who's the other technical staff in this ministry? You're the head.
My mom passed.
Yes. So that's one video, but look at this one, you know. Are they playing school? Are they marking register? Hey, Radoy. Hey.
Okay. You're making notes, eh?
Are they marking register?
Heyman Construction Services.
Present, sir.
Were they invited? Okay. You're making notes, eh? Antrac Engineering. So, engineer, you try to get Antrac, and y'all can't get a contractor? No, put your hands down properly and speak to me, man.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up and answer the register. Put your hands up properly and speak to me. It's water, man. Yeah? This is them children father talking to them or HM or class teacher. What going on? Y'all tell me about this nonsense, man. If this in disrespect, I don't know what it is.
You spoke to him yesterday, and you invited him to the meeting. So, P.S., how you said you can't get in contact with him, and look, your engineer is right here saying he spoke to him. No, look, your engineer, this is an engineer. He's not working outside the ministry. Did he report to you? He don't report to y'all? You're the head of the engineering department. Did he report to you? So imagine the president is calling a meeting in national interest to deal with all of these contractors who have delays. And nobody would sit with the staff to check on this. It's absolute. If the engineer contacted him, then it's clear he has no interest. KNS General Construction.
Mr. President, we tried to make contact with him up to this morning and we were not unable to make contact.
You're the consultant?
Yes.
And you're unable to make contact with your contractor? Do you have a staff on the site supervising this project?
Yes.
Did your staff work yesterday?
Yes.
And the contractor work yesterday?
Mr. President, we were informed about a meeting at 5:30 yesterday afternoon, and only then we were trying to start making contact with him, and we were unable to. We tried to make contact with his staff.
What time the consultant was informed? Yes? What time you spoke with the consultant? Speak now, because that is why I want everybody to hear. Tell me what time you spoke with the consultant, because what is happening here is a reflection of poor work. The lying from the consultants, the missing of deadlines, is just for one meeting, is a reflection of their approach to the work on the ground. That is why you're having delays. You're telling me you're a consultant. You're supposed to be on the site every day. Yesterday, your consultant, your staff, and the contractor was on the ground together working, and you can't get a message to them as a consultant? That is KNS. What is the name of this consultancy? Huh? Origin? A. Organson and Son.
We didn't make contact with them.
So this ministry made contact with nobody. This ministry none of the contractors can stand up to now from this ministry. That is why we're where we are. You're the consultant again. You can't make contact with the contractor.
We didn't make contact with the contractor. Right, the proprietor himself is out of the country, but he promised to have a representative here. I'm not able to say where the representative is. But we didn't make contact with him.
So let me explain to you how project management goes, because I did it myself. You're the consultant. You're paid by the state to represent our interests. You came understanding that the president has a meeting this morning. I called this meeting at 5:30, not because I don't have anything to do. It's because of the concern that I have for these projects that are more than 4 months behind schedule. You came, what time did you come to the meeting? You're the consultant. You're supposed to be here before the contractor. And if you had any courtesies or even any respect for your own capability, the first thing you'd have done was to check if your contractors are here.
We did check, sir.
And did you call him?
We did. Again, sir, we tried to make contact. We made contact with the proprietor of the company.
No. You came this morning, you checked. Did you check this morning? Did you call him this morning when you came here and did not see him?
No.
So that is the point I'm making. It's a laissez-faire approach to this work. You're the consultant. You came this morning. You did not see the contractor who is supposed to be here under your supervision. You didn't pick up the phone and call. R&D engineering service. Another contractor in this sector. Where's this contractor engineer?
It's the same scenario, sir. We made contact with the proprietor.
And it's the same consultant. It is clear. It's the same consultant. The same consultant, the same problem, you can't make contract. I'm sure you're not on the site doing the work.
Mr. President, they aren't currently on site doing any work, so we were unable to reach out to our representative. This morning.
But you all submit this to me. But this information on those who are 4 months.
Y'all get the impression y'all can understand what's happening. That is your president's at work. Yeah, project management is done because he did it himself. I hope y'all in the same class with Ali. The lines are opened. 622 5933 is not always 622-5933 is the number to call. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Guyanese Amsterdam. Call you're on. Call you're on.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you and all my black brothers and sisters in Guyana. First thing first, we're going to get there. Don't worry with the man of night in charge. What he performed there, I don't know, but I'm going to ask you a question. Is that person that who answering questions to the man with night in charge, is this a black man? Because to me, Vice sound like a black man.
I don't know. I can't tell people ethnicity from the vice really, but I don't know.
Okay, good. Because I didn't love to disrespect black engineer because I didn't want to move them and put his own only people them from India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Because majority engineer is black in Guyana. So I figure out the reason why he called that meeting is because he want to remove black people. Because all about what he could not call his ministry and sit to make sure teachers go back into their classroom. He cannot qualify 5 as a look. It is important for education in this country. Our children must be the future of the.
Looks like we lost Flash. So let me continue talking to you all about the presidents and what you saw on video there. I want you to recognize, hey, y'all see any needle in the haystack there? Have you seen any black contractor among that group that was there? I being honest, I didn't see any. Y'all help me if y'all see any. Tell me, did you see any black contractors? So then got African Guyanese contractors in this country? Call your life.
Morning, Kadaki, and morning, Guyana. It looks like the country is just a joke with this whatever took place. You got one Edge Hill there, you got Brock up then, and I don't know, man, how the hell is Guyana still standing? But, you know, here is 2 points I want to make. When the previous PNC leader was in Parliament, and I think we had heard that at that time, their submission for the opposition was being cut by about 33%. Mr. Harmon, I believe I brought that up. Nothing was done then. So I'm hearing the discussion again about the First Lady having a budget bigger than the opposition budget. So again, this is under Mr. Norton. And why don't we challenge? Why don't we tell our people what is going on? And we're always, late in informing our people what the racist mafia people are doing to us. Another point. I think Jack Deho, Ifradali, Nandalal, they're genius. No, I meant to say they're geniuses. And that's my point. That's my take, sir.
Thank you for your call. Yeah, so did you see, like I asked, did you see any African Guyanese contractors there? Or even if you saw, do you think it is a representative number? Even if they are there, let's assume I didn't see them because they were so minuscule in number. Do you think that number is representative? Black man can't do contract. Black man I get big money sense. Or he wasn't interested in the contractors that were cleaning drains in street corners, because that is where I see the African Guyanese contractors working. Cleaning drains and street corners and roadsides. Call it your life.
Greetings to you, my brother. Blessings to a wonderful and beautiful country called Guyana. All what you're saying is so true. I tried to skin me eyes in all different angles and listen, cock my ears to hear if I hear any name us. Now, listen to this. Somebody had to work at Linden. Somebody and some daughters with a young fella died yesterday. Operating an excavator, was cleaning some place in Caracas with it. The excavator tank, and the guy died. Here who's a contractor. Hear the name of the contractor. When we understand where the people putting us. The people putting me in the pressure. We just what you're saying is right. Clean drain. Even if they give you a little $500, just what Dr. David I'm saying and you saying, anybody saying, they give you a $15 to $10 million work, you feel like a big buy or big girl. And the bigger heads getting billions. And this is what we like. Here some people, you know, at least I still getting something. But Mr. Dapper hear these men tag this kind of thing, and the deal is running well through me being. At least I still getting something. It's better than nothing. This is what we got to. But at the end of the day, it's not a dictatorship, man. One was a dictator. Just what you said is right. One was a dictator. Not the PPP. The victim is not a dictator. You imagine you can't even talk. People fighting to talk. People just grumbling and to the cell phone. Then I can't buy me like who now buy, but what you gonna do by it? You want no problem, nobody. And I'm telling them, I say, we're not doing it in power. Yeah, who's ass and who's this and who's the devil. How can you talking all the blues and all anything? Now the same people are going on at the rate. All of them be easy, Mr. Kadaki. I just watch them and smile. Mr. Kadaki is a serious time we live in. And if we people especially get it right, I don't know what happened. The people taking away ancestors' land and telling you that it's government reserve. All you land where your ancestors fight, get licks for taking the rental reserve. And the land where they got, it remains as personal property. But our ancestors' land automatically, what more we want to see, what more we want to understand, why we so dense, why we so negative in our mindset. I don't know when you can change and understand where you're going. If it can never happen in your lifetime. So that it's sad. I trust in every day that we could just get the act together and get it right. It's true what you're saying. You look in the crowd and see how much of us in position of authority where money is concerned, not 2 million and 3 million and 5 million and 50 million, where money is concerned. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Carlo. So yes, we already see black people. If we see any black people, any African Guyanese in the crowd, right? Good. That's a fact. But we know that St. James get contract. And the construction of that school is way past the completion date, but the school is yet not completed. What happened there? We didn't see them in the meeting. We didn't see them in the meeting at all. And then we know that Boyd Nesters, they call him, had a big contract that is way past completion date and so on. But we didn't see Boyd Nesters. What's going on? What about those contractors? Well, I say contractors loosely here, who got big money contract for the supply of medical drugs, but they ain't fulfilling it on time. I didn't see them there. So it's what poppycock this man going on with. It's Bully trying to pull over your eyes again, a trick to say I'm doing what I got to do. Or they got some people in them got the authority to talk to. You gotta go through the ballot tyrant for that. And the ballot tyrant would not allow his associates to be so ridiculed and disrespected by the presidents. I believe there's what's going on, you know. Caller, you are on.
Yeah, good morning. Now with this 100,000, the 200,000. During the 1980s, 86, 87, I worked that day, then I'm still at Center. And the government of that day, PNC, they started to pay out things like what was being paid, but it was being paid to the mothers and the children. That was a grant to think of either $26 or $260 to mothers who were attending clinic with the children. And the thing it ended up being a great laugh because many of the mothers who came from I'm not degrading them, from the Indian populated villages like CI and Anakatrina. The Indian PM had to call the nurse from the clinic, that being me, to sign for them because they could only have signed the next. But they were well manicured and he used to abuse them out. So cash transfers were here long before now. So the PPP mustn't think. Now with the workers who left their homes to be at the place of 5:30 in the morning, they cause problems because if you're supposed to be on your work site at a certain time, I don't see why I must be called out of my time when that is my time. I'm not being paid for that to appear at any work site. I had problems like that. Matron would say, oh, you got to come and get shoes. I had a problem with my big foot. When time to get shoes, they can't give me shoes. Then the matron tell me when I get my off duty, I must go to town and look after me. So I said, Sister Rambam, I will go to town when I'm working to look after the government shoe. Because this shoe, I don't have to wear it other than coming to work. Now with the other issues we were talking about, this voters list, and this trying to say that in order for them to use biometrics and to get a clean voters list, they will have to go to make it into law. But I could remember last year at the local government, the law is that your ballot must be between you, your God, and whom you have put your body must know who you have voted for. But in the 2023 local government election, all of a sudden, they made into a semi-law that you must go and vote and take out a picture of whom you have voted for to show that you vote for the COP or the PNC. You vote for the PNC, you lost your work. You vote for the COP, you keep the work. That was a law that came into being haphazardly. That law, we didn't fight to get it into the realm. So I don't know why that GCOM and many naysayers out there are talking down the clean voters list and an inclusion of biometrics. When since the election was finished, we started to ask that. And that was something coming off from the Balek tyrant that there must be a need and an inclusivity of biometrics along with a clean voters list for a credible election. Lastly, now I would always talk about the wicked woman. She was the person who they used the order 60 to make that into law to put in the regime with all the CCJ told her and told who was in charge not to use order 60. So I don't see why that at this time the PPP they are now running around and taking all the things them to go against the clean voters list and biometrics. And I feel that we must stand firm to have that included. Because if they didn't have a law of using a camera to say who you have voted for, and that became a law in the 2023 local government election. And be mindful, remember that up to the present moment that I am speaking, a declaration of the 2023 local government election has not come yet from GCOM. Hence, there is a need for the removal of the chairman of GCOM because the election that has long passed, it's going into 2 years, and the chairman from GCOM cannot come out to the Guyanese public to say, well, look, the local government election that was being completed on the 13th of June or the 12th of June 2023, these are the results. I don't think we could have the same individual to stay for the regional and general election and 1 year and change after. We cannot get a proper report to know who is going to be manning the country. Is it that when the regional and general election is over, whenever it is being called by the installed leader, the fraudulent leader, that we will have to wait a period of 1 year and months before the chairman could officially give the results of the up and coming 2025 elections. Okay, that's my comments. Bye bye.
Thank you for your comments. 6225933 is the number to call. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. Let me see. There's a voice note.
Good morning. An installed government and an elected government is two different things. But it appears like the PPP don't understand the meaning of install. But anyhow, this thing with Ali and the contractors and all kind of thing. All I just a smoke screen. All I just a smoke screen. Kakakaraki, it's bigger than that. Behind. That's when you smoke screen. But anyhow, Barrett and them guys was installed. And the people who were depending on them to help them, instead of they help the people, they end up helping their friends, family, and cronies, offer the taxpayers, coffers. And with all of that, he trying all kind of simidimi to see if he could rig the election. But Dr. HINDS plugged the four corners. So he trying, but he will not succeed. After you do the people and them all these evil and wicked things, Barrett, you still want to go back there for next 5 years? Barrett, something had to be wrong with all your body. Something had to be wrong with all your. I out.
Morning, Buddy Kidaki. Good morning, Guyanese people, real Guyanese people who do not support this installed PPP government. This guy, Glenn Ladd, every time you open mouth, talking about the opposition and the PPP. Come on, bro. The opposition is running this country. The opposition is the party, the government here, but them is running this country. This country run by the PPP, not by a government. This PPP, this government, this country run by the PPP party. Because here they're talking about the PPP from since day 1 to day 2, because they know that they installed. You understand me? They can't recognize as a government. They're undemocratic. You understand me? And Renlal, you're doing a good work highlighting this island to our nation. Stick with the island. Stop blaming the opposition leader. Opposition leader just became the opposition leader, and he can't change nothing. If they was working together as a government, he was going to help change it, but he cannot change it. You understand me? Stop your nonsense. If it's vote you need, please, sir, do the right thing. Forget vote. Don't bamboozle the opposition. Opposition is not the problem of this country. It's the installed PPP party. You understand me? The installed PPP party, and you got to stop this nonsense. You understand me? You help install him. And because you don't get no oil, you don't get no oil well. You understand me? That's what you behaving like this. And you know you come on forming a new forming a party and Bombay in the opposition and government. Bombay is the government. Them is the people who after Bombay. Them is the people that destroy this country. The PPP party. They are destroying this country. Look, they had big meeting with all the engineers and all the contractors. What kind of madness is that? That is craziness. Look at this president. This man embarrassing himself to the extent this installed president. This don't stop president that we have. I thought university. Look at this guy embarrassing himself. But the engineer, nobody got any respect for him. No respect. It was the installed vice president. People are going to turn up there. Then nobody have no regard for I thought university. Come on, Guyanese. Guyanese, let me tell you something. Time coming for you eat with shit and drink with blood, as Janet Jagan said. And if y'all don't open your eyes and follow the opposition party, understand me? The opposition party, I'm sorry for your body. At least me and me family wouldn't drink blood and eat with shit, as I am an independent man and free. And nobody can try to bring nothing to me and me family. You understand me? So I'm sorry for y'all Guyanese people, especially our African brothers and sisters and our real Hindu brothers and sisters and Amerindian in this country. Rally around the opposition. Them gonna take y'all out of poverty for life. If y'all don't want to hear, y'all go ahead. It's left up to y'all, the bar and y'all court. Y'all see what happened to America there? That done stuck gone back in government. That lunatic gone back in government. I saw that installed vice president beginning up. Like if the president is the judicial, controlling judicial system, like how they control the judicial system in this country. What would this man gonna talk about America? What a disgrace vice president. You begging them for help now? Why didn't beg the Joe Biden government? I'm sure that you embed there and start y'all. So y'all begging them up now as they go back in government. But it wouldn't happen, boss. It wouldn't happen under the sun. You understand me? Because America have their laws and they gotta work by it. We don't care which government change.
Mr. Amsterdam, good morning, viewers. Guyanese, in the next election, the PPP must be removed from government. They're no good. And what is Pompeo doing in Guyana so often? Pompeo is meeting with the PPP government, setting up to rig the next election. The opposition must keep the eyes on that. Trump don't want Pompeo. Trump throw Pompeo under the bus this time. But if something is going on with Pompeo and the Ali government, and Guyanese must keep the eyes on that, also the opposition. This is my take for today.
Thank you for your take for today. It is now 3 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. What's there to tell you? What else y'all want to hear? Y'all ask, well, here comes another voice note.
Good morning. First of all, the meeting with President, with Ali. There's a way you speak to people, even though it's contractor. Ali trying to manipulate the Guyanese people, the black Guyanese people, if he's doing something. I looking at that video all the time. The only black one I think I see there is looking like one Jill. Me really see no black people there. Black people ain't getting no job. And I get a message for Frank Anthony. This are Rachel that y'all have in Majo. And the head where she get the magic, she need to be removed. She need to be removed. Or you're gonna get a throw down in the hospital. You can't get people advantaging people because and using black people for terror black people. Personally, I get work under Granger administration, and I know I have to leave the work, and I am not signing back any more contract. I am leaving the job next year, but nobody running me. Moving on, President Norton, this is for you. Late registrar or registration been doing for Spanish to get ID card or the pink slip for vote. President Norton, the people that you get on the ground, imagine, is some no people. But when you win elections, these same people you put back, we're gonna make you lose election again. And when it's time for you to go for recount or whatever, they say leave it like that and they walk it out. Don't let these people walk out on you. Don't let we walk out on you. The people what Granger had there were is incompetent. I don't care who vex. Try pick a proper government when you go in power, and we have to vote out PPP. A lot of wrong things going on in this community, but